What is up, everyone? Welcome to another day of J-Rank. Today we're taking a look at the top 25 teams in college football, in my opinion, after week 5. The way I do these, basically, it's as simple as if I think a team would beat a team ahead of them, I move them up. So if there's a team behind your team, let's say you're an LSU fan, I think you lose to these 16 teams and beat everybody else, okay? In some cases, I have to put you ahead because you actually beat them, even if there's some teams behind you that are, there's some interesting cases. We'll talk about that when we get there. Back on the next time, or back with J-Rank. So we're going to start with just missed. There are so many teams that are bubble top 25, in my opinion. You could add quite a few here. But the 5 that I chose that are right there, the closest: Army, Navy, Oklahoma, Colorado, James Madison. Army and Navy, surprises. They're very good. I really like both of them. Seeing an Army-Navy matchup as a conference championship game, very reasonable. That'd be awesome. Both of these teams, they keep winning, contenders for the playoff. That'd be awesome. I like these two teams a lot. Oklahoma, people are going to call this way low on Oklahoma. They're not top 25. No, I don't trust them yet. When a team has to make a quarterback change and the quarterback isn't insane, then I don't trust them yet. He's played very good, though. Their quarterback has since benching Jackson Arnold, and so they'll move up if they keep winning. It's that simple. James Madison, quite surprising after losing their entire team, basically, and their head coach to Indiana, who I have at number 12. But James Madison, team I like. Colorado, Deion Sanders, Coach of the Year? Possibly. They got 2 Heisman Trophy contenders. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. Wow, great team. All right, let's go through this. Let's go through the top. Let's go through 25 through 16 real quick. SMU, Illinois, Louisville, Michigan, Arizona, UNLV, Texas A&M, Clemson, LSU, Ole Miss. Ole Miss drops after that loss to Kentucky. I like head-to-head wins. They're super important. If you beat a team, generally that means you're better than them. But Ole Miss, I can't drop lower, and Kentucky, I can't raise higher. Despite the fact that their 2 losses are Ole Miss and Georgia, neither of which is bad. They beat Ole Miss. I don't know who their other loss is. Call me uneducated. And whatever. Ole Miss, don't trust them completely, but I also don't hate on them. Jackson Dart, Trey Harris, too much of studs for me to drop them lower. Other things people will find interesting: Clemson, I'm not as high on them as everybody else is. I don't trust them yet. That loss to Georgia just leaves me sick still. Texas A&M, I'm high on them compared to a lot of other people. Kind of opposite of Clemson. I've got a good feeling about Texas A&M. UNLV, I'm higher on than a lot of people also. Whoa. You lost your quarterback because of an NIL issue. Then you bring in his backup, and he's better? Whoa! Barry Odom, fantastic coach. I love UNLV right now. SMU, that's a team people don't often have ranked, but I lost to BYU's looking great as the season goes on. They destroyed TCU, they destroyed Florida State. Admittedly, TCU's not great, especially defensively, and Florida State's a pile of dog water. But SMU, there's a lot I like, especially on offense. They're so good. Illinois, that loss to Penn State dropped them, but Penn State's a good team, so I'm not docking them too much on them. Michigan and Louisville, these are teams that people are going to be so mad at me about, especially Michigan. I don't think Michigan's top 10. They don't have a quarterback. Not a good one. They have a bunch of junior college quarterbacks showing on their roster. Michigan reeks. They stink. Garbo. That's what I think when I think of Michigan right now. At the quarterback position. Defensively, elite. Running backs, fantastic. So good. I love Michigan besides their quarterbacks, but quarterbacks are so important, and so I can't trust them higher than this right now. Louisville, that's another team, but I just haven't seen enough from them yet. Another team that's often ranked that people are going to be angry about, USC, don't trust them yet. That's why they're not ranked. Arizona jumps in after that win against Utah, who is notably not ranked for me. I can't trust them. Not without Cam Rising, and Cam Rising, is he back in 2 weeks? That's what we're hearing, but nobody knows. Does Cam Rising exist? That's what Drake Toll from Locked On Big 12 said. Does Cam Rising exist? Yeah, we don't know. Does he play football still, or is he just a quarterbacks coach for Utah? Until we get Cam Rising for a decent amount of time, I can't trust them, but I can trust Arizona. Utah's defense is still very good. The way Noah Fifita picked them apart was so impressive. That's the Noah Fifita I thought we'd get this season. Arizona, obviously, they got destroyed by Kansas State, but then they came back and they beat Utah decisively. I mean, it wasn't a blowout, but they were in control the whole time. So, a lot I like about Arizona. Let's go into the top 15. Boise State, so slept on. They have my current Heisman pick, Ashton Jeanty, at running back. So good. The guy's a stud. If you watch any Boise State games, you know that guy. I can't say enough. Oh, he's so good at football. So good. And their defense is remarkable. The way they shut down Washington State, who, in my opinion, has one of the better offenses in the country. Wow. Awesome. That was awesome. I love Boise State. Notre Dame, not much to say about them. That's where I think they should be. 14. They beat these teams. They lose to these teams. That's my opinion. Penn State, same thing. People are sleeping on them. I haven't seen enough. Illinois, that was a good win. I liked that a lot. Indiana. I love Indiana. They're great. I loved James Madison last year, and they are James Madison of last year, just with better players at some key positions. Quarterback, Curtis Rourke, stud. He's so good. I like Indiana a lot. Kansas State. What do I make of Kansas State? Destroys Arizona. Destroys Oklahoma State. Gets creamed by BYU. Like Kansas State. Great defense. They've got a great quarterback. Fantastic run game. Well-coached, physical team. Everything you need in a football team. And they've been the best team every time they've stepped on the field except for 6 minutes against BYU, in which they got outscored 31-0, and then that game was over. And credit BYU's defense for slowing down Kansas State a ton. But, oh man, BYU had a lot of luck, but I can't put Kansas State ahead of BYU because of that brutal loss. But Kansas State's playing really well. They're still a playoff team in my opinion. BYU at 10. I don't know. That seems very high to me, but I can't put them lower than Kansas State because Kansas State beat them. Or they beat Kansas State decisively. And so BYU, I'm clocking in at number 10. And they could be number 10. They could be top 10. We'll see how they perform against Arizona in 2 weeks. That's a big test. Oklahoma the week after that. And then at UCF, that 3-game stretch. I mean, Oklahoma State's looked poor. UCF, that was poor. Let's not talk about that Colorado game if you're a UCF fan. That was ugly. But those are still 3 very good programs, especially Arizona. BYU does get Arizona and Oklahoma State at home, so I do think they win both those games. And UCF on the road, I mean, Colorado treating them at UCF. So, I don't know. BYU should win all those games, but at the same time, those are all 3 very capable teams. So BYU can justify this ranking over the next 3 weeks. Missouri at 9. Not a lot to say about them. They just had a bye. Iowa State at 8. Love the defense. Love the defense. Their offense is efficient, at least. They're very good. They've got very good efficiency, statistically. But 20-0 against Houston, I don't love that. Houston reeks. They stink. Rotten. Ugh. Houston, wait for basketball. Wait for basketball. It's coming. It's coming soon enough. In football, let's forget you have a football team. And a lot of people have because it stinks. Iowa State, shut them out. Good. But 20-0, that win over Iowa's still looking good. Iowa's another team that's like a clear just missed team in my opinion. Iowa State, I like them a lot. Keep winning. They just have they're very efficient. Ohio State, people are going to say that's low. I don't trust them enough. These top 7 comes down to me being nitpicky because these are all very good teams. I don't trust Ohio State yet as much as I trust the teams ahead of them, just because they haven't looked quite perfect enough against the good teams or against the bad teams they've played. Oregon is here in large part because of that win over Boise State, which looks so good. That looks so good. That's why they're ahead of Ohio State. That's why Oregon is the Big Ten favorite in my eyes. Georgia, first half against Alabama. What are we doing? Second half against Alabama. Oh my gosh, no way they came back. Last 2 minutes, Alabama wins it. 17-year-old kid, makes us all question life decision. Why weren't we doing that at 17? But Georgia, still fantastic. Carson Beck, they exposed him a little bit, but he's not bad. Georgia's defense got exposed as well, but they're not bad. There's a lot still like about Georgia. They're at number 5. Number 4, Miami. You should have lost that Virginia Tech game. You're so lucky to have survived that Hail Mary. I'm a little surprised that call got overturned just because I didn't personally think there was enough evidence. But good for you, Miami. And I like your chances moving forward in the ACC. There's not a lot of elite schools in the ACC. You've got Clemson. You've got SMU. You've got Louisville. But none of those teams should compete with you. Virginia Tech shouldn't have. But I like Miami right now. I like them just a bit better than I do Georgia. Miami's a good team. Miami's a very good team. Cam Ward, woo. Beautiful. Tennessee, they're good. They're a great team. They're a great team. Fantastic. Texas is really, really good. They're moving down because they didn't beat Mississippi State the way that they should have. But mostly just because Alabama did an Alabama thing. And Jalen Milroe. What? Wow. Jalen Milroe was so good in that Georgia game. Texas, Quinn Ewers, when he comes back, which I hear he's back for the next game, so that's amazing. The fact is, Quinn Ewers is a huge step above Arch Manning. People don't talk about that enough. Quinn Ewers still should be considered a Heisman contender, especially if Texas plays elite the way that they've been playing. They make the playoff, almost certainly. They advance deep into the playoff with Quinn Ewers. But if he gets injured again, Arch Manning is he's a capable team. He's a better quarterback than half these teams have. More than half these teams, probably. He's great. Texas at 2, Alabama at 1. I don't know what I can say besides perfection. How did you go from the greatest coach of all time in Nick Saban to Kalen DeBoer being an insane coach as well? Wow. I can't say enough. You didn't skip a beat when Nick Saban left, or you haven't yet. It's a small sample size, but 4 games, but good at football. Their whole team, good at football. Good at football, especially Jalen Milroe. Well, that's it for J-Rank today. Stay tuned for more videos. Next time, we're going to be talking about my Heisman top 5 through a month of college football. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, comment. Comment why I'm an idiot with creating these rankings. I love to hear your opinions. Comment who should be on these rankings, who shouldn't be, who should be lower, who should be higher. Thanks again, And as always, have a great day.